So can I welcome you all on this bright, sunny August morning. We will, first of all, a resolution to exclude the public and press. Some of you are on just now. We will be recording this and it will be put on the Trust website. This meeting is due to take about 10 minutes. At the end of this meeting, we will take a short break, a brief intermission, stay on the call because we're going to continue on this, and Peter will take over with the Governor Overview Group. Okay, thank you all. And in terms of, has anybody got any declarations of interest?
No.
Shake of the head, good. And in terms of apologies, Richard.
Thank you. So apologies from Alan Burns and also from Sue Watts, Jane Chambers, Eric Jackson, Richard Apps and Manisha Curley. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Annette is also not able to join us.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Can Richard give
just
that
for correction?
Thank you. So moving swiftly on to item 2 on the agenda. Appointment of the University of Leicester non-executive director, and the appointment and remuneration group met and discussed this. And if I can pass over to Gail, please. Gail, you're on mute.
Still haven't got the hang of it. Yes, the group met on the 29th and Professor Burke was in attendance. We'd received the documentation with regards to CV, accompanying letters, etc. In support of the application to the post of non-executive director. Professor Burke was given an opportunity to speak to the group and provide any additional information. The group then discussed the appointment to that post and were unanimous that it should go through to the Council of Governors for final approval. Is there anything else the group would like to know with regards to the appointment?
Can I just ask, Gail, what
Yes.
is his clinical background?
Oh my goodness, where does one start? He has extensive experience. Let me just go into what I've got in front of me here, Andrew. So, which would be easier than me off the top of my head. Okay.
Whilst you're doing that, Gail, can I just say that there was the option for members to view his CV on request, so that is still available if anybody wants to look at CV on request.
Yes, I have actually seen that. Yes,
You've seen it, Andrew.
I didn't quite understand it all, but you carry on.
Okay, so Deputy Vice Chancellor at the University of Leicester, where he joined in 2018. He's been leading in relation to Acting Vice Chancellor from 2019. Involved in education research, student recruitment, focusing on staff morale, driving equality, diversity, involved in Shaping for Excellence initiative. He chairs the university's union negotiating team. He's involved in redesign planning process, managing budget in 2021. In a projection of 35 million. So it's very extensive. He's written lots of research papers, etc., etc. And he was very clear with regards to our group model going forward and the role that he would play in relation to sort of recruiting medical staff, etc., going forward. And gave a very, very positive view to the appointment remuneration group when he met with us. So he certainly seemed to have extensive background, which we viewed would be a real positive coming into the organisation.
Thank you.
Mo.
Yes, thank you very much, Trevor and Gail. My question really is, what's his programme for catering? I mean, how do you apply and change catering from a district general to a teaching institute. We do have students from Leicester. We do have trainee registrars from Leicester and Oxford. And really, the trainers themselves need training. They need to be recruited and cultivated. And it's a big job. It's not an easy one. What was his program for catering? Thank you.
Gail, before you answer that, can I just, David's got a question as well. So if we can pick up on David, your question first, please.
Yeah, I did read the fellow's CV. He's got an impressive CV, but I didn't see any clinical material on there. As far as I could make out, his background is mathematics and computer science. So is that correct? Because I don't feel that the response actually answered Andrew's question about his clinical experience. My understanding is he doesn't actually have any. He is a mathematician in computer science and academic by background. He is a clinician.
Thank you, David. You're absolutely quite right. That's what I was also querying. I mean, was he a doctor medically qualified? Is he a surgeon, a physician, or whatever?
And my second point on that is that we had a presentation by a chap, I forget the fellow's name, some months back, who I think was originally the designate to take over the NED role. And he had quite an extensive clinical background. So I'm curious as to why the pivot from somebody who's got an extensive clinical background to somebody who's not, given that there's a lot of research out there showing that medical institutions run by people with clinical backgrounds actually are at least 20% more effective than those that don't have it. So I'm kind of curious as to why the pivot.
Janet, do you want to answer that, or do you want me to come in on that one?
I'll let you take the lead at the moment, Trevor, and then I'll come in.
Thank you. Sorry, I've just muted myself. The pivot, David, is actually quite simple. It was actually the success of that individual in taking a much more senior role at the University of Leicester, a Vice Chancellor, and therefore it meant, head of medical school, and therefore couldn't continue as a non-exec director. You're right, his background is engineering, computers, mathematics, and education. His interest is in supporting all education, not just medical education within the trust. So where we talk about nurse education, where we talk about the allied health education, so it's a much wider interest than just the medical education. Sorry, Janet, do you want to come back? Because I wasn't actually at the interview. You're on mute, Janet.
Gail.
Sorry, Gail.
Yeah, Gail.
That's
sorry.
fine. As Trevor has said, we're
Monday morning.
we appreciate the points that you're making, and we're looking at the wider agenda here with regards to education, and the principles will apply across the piece. So it's about encouragement and the growth within the group model and getting people in to join us, and about that education and research base right across. So this is our link into the university, not in relation to just the medical staff issues on its own.
Okay, thank you. You're on mute, Trevor.
Trevor, you're muted.
Do it now, Gail. He will be attending the 1st of September meeting of the Council of Governors. So I think there is an opportunity there, not only to cross-examine him, but certainly to hear what he has to say on that opportunity. So can I, taking this forward, can we we're asked to approve the decision of the Appointments Remuneration Group that Professor Edmund Burke is appointed as a non-executive director at Kettering General Hospital Foundation Trust. Not hearing any dissents on that. Good, thank you. That's approved, and you have the minutes of the meeting, not to approve here of the ARG, but just as for information. And at that, there's not aware of any other
Trevor,
business. For the
this is a joint appointment, isn't it? With Northampton?
No, it's not. It's an appointment only with Kettering as a foundation trust. But as the directors work jointly at group level, he clearly will be involved in discussions with Northampton and Kettering. So it's very much in that context. The appointments to Northampton General non-exec directors is in the remit of NHS Improvement in England, not with any council governors. Okay, Mo, you want?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So nothing else. I declare this meeting closed, and we will move on shortly. Please stay online for the Governor's Overview Group, and I'll hand over to Peter for that. Thank you.